Hey everyone, welcome back to Love Lighthouse, the podcast that helps add love and light to your life. If this is your first time here and you have not subscribed, please hit subscribe, hit the like button, and if you're really wanting to be my friend, drop a comment in the link below or in the comments below. It really helps this show up for other people so that it can come on their radar with the algorithms. Anyways. This week, I wanted to talk about what to do if you have a fight, an argument, a mishap with somebody in your life, what you can do afterwards. I talk to people all week long in my coaching practice, and of course, this subject comes up a lot, and a lot of uncomfortable situations with people having arguments or, family things. Relationships can be tricky. And the problem is we think we know what's happening in someone else's mind and their heart, and usually we're completely off base. So we look at life through such a small perspective, and we don't know. We don't know why that person is acting the way that they're acting, why they say the things they say, how they think, how they feel. We just know how we feel. And so it's really important to take a moment, take a step back, and to really learn how to get good at relationships and personal interactions. So today's podcast is going to help you with that. I'm going to give you 3 things to do if you have some sort of altercation with people and how you can smooth it out. The first thing I want you to do is, number 1, calm down. Okay. After you have this incident that happens, what can you do about it? Well, first you must calm down. You can't do anything about it in a state of anger, of frustration, of being really, really riled up. You have to first take some breaths. Allow your temper or your emotions to come back down to neutrality and to get to that space. So that's the first thing to do. I would say to try to take a moment before you just get in it and totally react or try to fix it. You take some deep breaths, maybe you go for a walk, maybe you remove yourself from the situation. But the first thing you must do is calm yourself. Okay. The second thing I want you to do, once you are calmed down, it might be that day, an hour later, it might be the next day, it might be a week. I don't know how long it will take you. It depends on the magnitude of the incident and the details of it, but it might take you longer than a week. I don't know. But as soon as you can, once you calm down, as soon as you can do this, step number 2, I want you to try to do this. This is really, really important. And most people never do this. And if you can do this, you are going to be way, way ahead of the game, and you're going to get really good at your relationships in your life. Okay. But number 2, put yourself, as much as you can, try to put yourself in that person's shoes in this scenario. So step back and try to be objective about this situation and look at whoever this person is, look at the situation through their eyes the best you can. So for example, let's use an intimate relationship. Okay. I remember someone that I was talking to one time. She loved to be social. She loved to be on the go. And her husband was like a total homebody. In his world, if it was him and his wife and his kids all day long, he would be happy. He had no desire to go out and have a big social life. He was more of an introvert. And this caused a lot of issues in their marriage. And he would get really, really upset. And so the more upset he got with her wanting to go and be social, the bigger the wedge got, and the more she really started to kind of rebel, in a sense, kind of act like a rebellious teenager, like, you're not my dad, you can't tell me what to do. And so she started to do more and more and more to push the envelope of him putting these rules on her and these restrictions. That's how she felt, right? And so she started to do things that went too far in most people's opinion in a marriage, right? To where she would be like hiding things from him, not telling him who was going to to different get-togethers, not going to different parties, being around a lot of people that maybe weren't healthy for a marriage. And that wedge got really, really big. And I remember as I was coaching with her, I had her do this step number 2. I said for her to put herself in his shoes. And how would she feel if her husband was going to parties with a bunch of single women? And even though she wasn't doing anything with these single guys that she was hanging around with at different scenarios, she felt like he should just be cool with it because he was this mean dad image in her life that he had turned into. And so when I had her do this step number 2 and put herself in his shoes, and how would she feel if her husband was going and hanging out with a bunch of single guys where there were a bunch of single girls? Many times they were, flirting with him. How would she feel? And as soon as I had her drop into that scenario, she looked at it through a completely different lens. And she was like, oh, I would hate it. It would make me so mad. So she was able to finally make that connection as to why that was not healthy for their relationship and why that would probably bother him. And she could finally see that. So it's really important to put yourself in their shoes, even if it's your child. Let's say it's your teenage child, and you're an adult, and you put yourself in your child's shoes. Of like, let's say maybe they have a lot of friends reaching out to them nonstop, and you are so frustrated and annoyed because they want to talk on the phone all the time. Put yourself in their shoes. Maybe they've been to school all day. Maybe they need some time to just let their hair down. Maybe they don't. I don't know. You got to put yourself in their shoes and see how it feels. Okay. Then the third thing and final thing that I want you to do is I want you to ask yourself this very, very important question. Okay. After you have a fight or an argument, you step back and you say, how can I handle this differently in the future? Where did I show up that I could do better next time? Many times we go through life and we don't even realize that we don't take accountability and we don't take ownership of where we show up in a negative way or a way where we maybe drop the ball. It always takes 2 to tango. It takes 2 to fight. It takes 2 to be in a relationship. And there's always faults on each side. So how can you handle it differently? There was a time not too long ago that I shared a moment about, getting in a fight with my husband. And when I calmed down and I put myself in his shoes, and then I asked myself, how can I handle that differently in the future? I realized that I had a lot of ownership in the argument because I had totally miscommunicated. And had I communicated, there would have been no fight. So this question is very, very powerful. It will serve you well. It will really bless your life. And that way you can learn as you go and you can progress and constantly grow and get better and better at relationships, because relationships truly are the heart of our life. And so if we can get good at communicating and connecting and understanding how someone else must be feeling, and then taking ownership where we can, it will bless our lives forever. So thank you for being here. Have a fabulous week, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.